I bolted it in, but I'm going to tell you guys, make sure this is flat all the way around equally. If not, that means you have bent a tab of one of the prongs that are down in this fuse box. Just take it back up and, you know, turn around and make sure you bend it back and then start, make sure it is flush. Because it'll tell you if it's not when you look at the sides. What I'm going to do is just hang this fuse box back up for a minute here. Like I'm going to do now, because I don't need to take it back off. Just put the 210s back. Like I said, I took this off to make it easier to work on the back of the fuse box. If you're feeling brave, you can do it from the other side and not take this off, but I took it loose. Like back here you see, you can get it from the back side. And on these airbag plugs, I didn't tell you earlier, but these little red guys, pull them to you just in how it's sticking like that, so you can squeeze the locks that are down here to get them off. If you don't, you're going to have a bad day and end up breaking a connector and have an airbag light. Or even worse, have one blow up in your face. I'd rather not see you guys blowing up in your face, so do make sure you take your time. Don't get in a rush to do them, you know what I'm saying? But do make sure you pull that little red lock out that far. It's got a little lip and you'll pull it out and you'll hear it click. Now, I could have done that differently. See right there, there's one in the center. Alright, put you over here for hang you up here for a second, guys. Might get this stuff plugged in. Put it on the right side there. Listen for the nice positive clicks. No positive clicks, you've done it wrong, and it's going to have an issue. Make sure, push it in, put your safety on, and recheck your plugs, make sure they're tight. Seeing in the corner where my fingers are, push that red tabby in. Those are good, but make sure how I got it routed like that. There's a U and the wires come on the other side. This stuff here is going to go to your shifter. I got it in my hand. You put your shifter bracket back, which I'm getting ready to show you guys now. This big aluminum bastard. Turn the camera around. This is the big goofy aluminum bracket. As you see, goes all the way up there to the studs on the floor. I probably could have waited to plug this in, but just made it easier to do it now. Slide it down in there. Has all this gobbledygook. Pull these guys up out of the way. Let me sit you guys down again for a second. Sorry. Come on, baby. Oh, come on. There we go. Alright. I'm sorry to put you guys down, but see, yeah, the wiring feeds around on this side so you don't pinch it. See it? That's how it's supposed to be, guys. Some will tell you to feed it through the hole, but that's not the right way. And I'll show you now before I tighten it to the floor. This is where the other dash mount is, and you'll have to play with it a little bit. As you see, mine are off. But also, as you tighten it to the floor, will help. That's what I normally do, so it's straight, no aggravation. These are the screws. If you need a reference, if you look at the heads versus washer, they are a crimp nut. So they stay tight. I'm just showing you in reverse order here, since I did not do the video with me taking it out, and I just dropped the bolt somewhere. I'll have to find one where I dropped it. So I just heard it. See, find random stuff when you're looking. Like a screw fell down in between the carpet there, which Don't recommend doing it that way, guys. Get you a little bucket or something. 4 screws. Come on. Gotta love when they just don't fit right. Or did I grab? Oh, I grabbed the wrong one. That was when I dropped in the carpet. That wasn't the right size. I just picked up the wrong one. Ain't that funny? Where'd it go? Make sure it didn't fall in here, but I heard it. I dropped it. And I dropped one. Or did I misplace one like an idiot earlier? Which I could have. That dropped that one earlier and I thought it was the right size, but it was not. Okay, let me pause for a second while I find this bolt, guys. Okay, I'm back. I did tighten them down to the floor and 13's on the sides. So next, I did make a boo-boo when I did it, but I had to unplug the box again because you put your brace bolts here in the side, but leave one side open, I forgot to tell you, to feed your shifter cable and shifter back. That was my fault, guys. I should have told you the right way. But yeah. Basically, just going to get it down on these rubber studs, like so. Boom, boom, boom. And the bolts you'll have are these. They have a blind, space. That's the torque limiter basically built in it so you don't over tighten it and break it. Like, see, they won't go in right unless you get the console dead on. What you can do is when you got it up like that, push them into the grommet and then set it down. Starts right on every time. I had somebody help me and I didn't do like I told y'all to do to take the seat out. And he's knocked some bolts through the car, so I probably won't have them on every time here, which is my fault, even though there's only like a handful. And that one does not take one, but this one does. That takes a regular bolt. Okay, so you got 3 blind bolts. Boom, boom, boom. 1, 2, 3. They have that built-in limiter, but if you look up here, this one has one built in. So just a regular nut. Okay. See, these are the 2 you unplug for the shifter. Not a big thing to plug back in. I'll have to plug back in my module. You want to listen for the clicks so you don't have any electrical issues down the road. Click, click. Okay, now I gotta put these guys back in again. See how tight that's gonna be now, like that. Oh. Sit you guys somewhere right quick. I'm gonna pause it, but you gotta plug those in the box. Hold on one second. Okay, we're back. So shifter bolts. 1, 2, 3, 4 are tightened. The box is plugged back in. Make sure your 2 connectors on the side are plugged in for your shifter. And like I say, the key is to remember, guys, when you route this stuff, plan ahead, unlike I just did. And I showed, it didn't show, but where this plate comes up and mounts for the structural integrity, that's where I just fed my shifter cable back through. But I had all this plugged in earlier. Well, these stayed in, but this plug where it loops around back into the harness blocked me from getting my shifter in. Like I was telling you, not a lot to it, and these are other supports for the dash. See, now that the bracket is in, just move it a little bit with your hand. See, I'm doing it with one hand, so it shouldn't be tight, hard to line up. As long as you get these tightened up in here, your 13s. I got one still left for y'all to show you, but I'm getting set up now. Change sockets and extension. Okay, so see, none of this has got to be stupid tight. A lot of guys get crazy with this stuff. It's only aluminum. If you're worried about it shaking out, you can always use blue Loctite. Never ever use red on this stuff, unless you don't want threads anymore. If you have to take it back out in the future for a repair. Like I did earlier, I showed you, I just loosened them on the fuse box bracket. See, nothing crazy on that. I'll tighten the other side so I can keep it on these. I know it's not showing y'all taking it apart, but it is going back together. It gives you an idea where everything is. Not a lot to it. It's structural. It's all this plastic that'll throw you off. The actual work is nothing, guys. It's just the plastic. Now I'm going to show step by step how the plastic goes on and how it should come off. And ways to avoid breaking all the tabs, because this stuff is old and brittle. These cars aren't new no more. Ain't like when you buy them. I don't use power tools in these videos. Yeah, it would go faster, but you take more chances of messing something up, and I don't want to give somebody bad directions and end up breaking stuff. Okay, I'll give it a little more. That wasn't even as tight as a spark plug. And just slightly not pull fear of God into it. So that's back in. Dash will be, see where I haven't tightened? It's moving. I'm going to show you up top. The dash bolt that's in there. That's where your other 13 for the dash is. And make sure you don't smash the windshield. I didn't run it down by hand, guys. Sorry. There will be some video editing of this, but not much. But that is the bolt. I was telling you there's a 13 in there, and that's where the deep well comes in handy. Make sure you don't beat your ratchet off the windshield and bust you a nice $500 windshield if you don't have coverage. Okay. These don't have to have the fear of God in them. Yeah, they're the dash, but still, it's only plastic and some lightweight metal. About 18 foot-pounds is about all you want. Like, take your palm, just give it a little shove. That's it, guys. See if I got one of them tabs to show you. I know I did earlier. Square, guys. Oh, right here on the dash. See, these are what covers them. You can't mess them up side to side, so if you think you got one wrong, you can look at it and see the curves don't match. If you're not sure, just take your time, spin it around like that. See. That's it. Nothing crazy. Just pops in. Like I do is take a little scribe like this of something with a point, so you can get under that ledge without dinging the outside of your dash up. Just take it and pop it up like that. See, you don't mess your dash up. Flatheads are great, but I always recommend like something. It don't even have to be metal scribe. As long as it's dull, you can get under that lip, pop it. Same thing on the other side. And the speaker grill here, because as it has 4 push tabs, and in the front is the easiest place to start, because this is up front. Just pop up under it. I use a pocket flathead, because you need to take this up to get to the 1 and 2 screws that hold this down, so you can pop this off to get your heater control, which I will grab now and show you. This lovely guy, because you can't get this out under it because of the cut at the top. Goes under it. See where somebody's cracked this one before? This one had it done under a recall in 2011. But yeah, here and here, where it goes under the dash, and somebody tried to feed it out from under. So you got pop tabs. And 1 screw down here under a little half-moon piece of plastic. Just take your scribe, pop it, and get that Phillip head. Because technically, like if you take that out, you can see all that in there for your body control module if you ever have to change it. Okay, so far we've done the console. What I need to do is tighten up the fuse box. So I don't want to leave you guys off a step and then you forget it. Putting it back. You don't have to take that off, but I do. I just take it loose. Don't go crazy because it says take this ground strap off. You don't have to if you don't want to, unless you want to take the whole fuse box out, but no need. Pretty simple. You're going to find stuff you might take off you think you need to take off. I've done it. Now I'll show you that top screw on the dash because like I said, I already had the dash back in. And just snug, these ain't fear of God. See how that one got easy because it's getting closer to the tabs. I'm just palming it, not even pulling on the handle on those. Don't need to. Yep, all that. You can see there's some stuff in here I've taken out that I didn't need to. Some screws, like up across here for trim. Didn't need to. That's before I knew any better. But let me go ahead while I'm here. Got this 10 down here is one of the dash bolts you have to take out. It's behind the glove box. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, should have run that up a little better. Let's see if we can run it by hand a little more. Like here in the center, you'll swear you have to take the screw off to the heater box. You don't. That's because that's the heater core box and the evaporator. But it's on the other side when you have the dash out. 3 Phillip head screws. Comes right on out. Cut and dry. Just snug it, guys. This is in the plastic right here on top of it, so you don't want to break the plastic. Palm it. Then right above it, in the holes, if you look, see one. And there's a 13. 13, and like the one on the top of the dash on the other side. Just tighten those. Okay, let's come across. Let's see here. Oh, that's what I was going to show you. On the lower panel that goes under the dash, this is your hood release. If you look, the cable comes through, but that's the 213s. Unbolt it, slide it forward. And on the back side of the handle, when you open it, there's a slot cut in it for the cable to come out, but you have to come over to the bracket inside of it. It hooks in right here. It slides in this V-cut, the end of it. Like so. Just put it might like one break when it comes out. Just don't use a prying mesh or method like left to right. Try to pop it on both sides straight up, and then you just make sure you have it hooked back in the handle. But that's the only way to get it out. Pop it out of that, then you just turn the cable upward and slide it out that slot to the side. Okay, so we got all that. I'm just trying to make sure we get you right, because like now we would technically put all the console back. The rest of it's trimmed. There's no electrical left, as you see, besides cigarette lighter, stuff like that. Then we have just the panels here. Yeah, that's pretty much it. But we're going to stop it there, and I'm going to get another piece ready, and I'll show you exactly what to do. Alright guys, hold on. Okay, I wish I could have showed y'all a little easier, but this is the panels. They come off as one piece that goes around your shifter. And you see screw holes, right? So when you're putting this in, pull your e-brake handle all the way up and come in like that. And when you got it all the way lined up before you click them in under the dash, it will sit down. You have this hole that's for a plastic screw, basically, which I have right here, this guy. This goes in the hole, and then you tighten the screw. Right down in here. Let's push it forward, make sure it's in there. Drop the little plastic screw head right in my hand. You can tighten them by just pushing down by my thumb, see? Boop. But when you get them up here, there's little lock tabs right next to screw holes. And you'll know when you got this front all the way down and all that in the back. Because like I said, the back hole line up, then you just push those in the click, see? They don't move. Then you can put, if you want to get all crazy, you can put this guy back on. Which is easier to have the shifter in neutral and then, move it forward. Which, in your case, if you ain't got your battery hooked up, it's fun to put the key in, because now you have your airbags and stuff to plug back in. You should not have to have your car running for this. Just unlock it. Well, this one, yes you do. But there is a safety that's under the trim panel. That sucks for me. And not good for the video. Because they have them under these these plastic panels down here. Well, it's supposed to pop up, but in my case, it's going to fight me. Of course. Now, I don't want to hook the battery up, so, I'll wait on that guy. Because we don't want to damage it really and get crazy. This will move until you get everything back in place. Because that's really not necessary until you're ready to run it. Because now is just the back half of the console, which I can go ahead and put in, because I'm not worried about the screws on the front half yet. Because I don't have, that on. And get on my bulkheads plug back, because I already did that one. Because ideally, if I plug that up over there, I can turn the car on for the first time. But I do not recommend sitting in the car the first time if you've unhooked your airbags, just for a precautionary measure. Alright, let me grab the center console here to go in. Let me look. Yeah, because you got the e-brake lever and it's going to have to be up. Give me a second here, guys. Let me move it around. I'm one-handing this. Whew, fun when you're doing it one hand, guys. But it shows it doesn't take a lot of stress to get it back in. Let me set you down for a second like that. Try not to hide y'all guys from the camera. Like here, I'm just trying to get it in. Give me a second here.